Hi, I'm Brent Haynes with Wood Sound Flutes. I have 4 flutes that I want to share with you today. Each one of these flutes has been made specifically for a client. A client has called me or talked with me and said, I would like a flute that was in this key, I want a wood, and we maybe talked about the wood and then came up with a particular wood, or maybe they told me what wood they wanted it in. And then we talked about the different designs of the specific flutes that they wanted. And we came up with these designs. So the purpose of this particular video is to inspire you, to let you use your imagination, to let you know that anything you could possibly want, we can create for you. We just need to talk about it, and we can figure out how we can do what you want to do. Make your dream flute. The first flute I want to share with you is the most recent one that I finished. I just finished these inlays on this flute yesterday. And it's just gorgeous. This particular flute is made out of redwood burl. It has some abalone inlay in it. It has some yellow cedar burl inlay both in the shoulders and as rings. Underneath the shoulders it has a bit of sugarlight inlay, and then in down here in the body of the flute we have this energy hand. So it's a hand print with this energy swirl. So the hand print itself is inlaid with turquoise. The energy swirl is sugarlight. And then on the totem it has the medicine wheel on one side. And I'm not sure what this represents on this side, but this was what my client wanted, and I just think it looks so freaking awesome. I hope he's going to like this, because originally these on the totem were just supposed to be engravings, but I just thought the turquoise would look so fabulous. So I'm at a little bit of a risk here, because I did some inlay that I wasn't supposed to do per our discussion, but I think it's just so awesome. It ties all of the colors in together, and I think he's going to be really, really happy. Additionally, this flute is set up with offset fingers for offset to the left hand down. Now this happens to be the way that I play normally. I can play ambidextrous, but I play stronger with my left hand in the down position. Most of you play right hand down. And what's important about this is that we can offset whichever direction you want to go. We can do flutes in an offset to the left hand down. If perhaps, heaven forbid, this person should ever want to sell his flute for whatever reason, and somebody wanted these holes moved over so that they could play it as a right hand down position, that absolutely could be done. That's not a big deal to do. We can do those sorts of things. So there's just so many options. And then additionally, this flute has the easy clean mouthpiece on it. So I think this looks particularly phenomenal right here. This is just awesome looking, in my opinion. We have the yellow cedar burl, and then internally I actually have a piece of grenadillo, because yellow cedar burl is not as strong and doesn't have its porosity can be questionable. It can have voids and things like that, and we don't want any of that for the seal. We want really solid wood, and so I inlaid that with a piece of grenadillo to provide our good seal. So so we have 3 O-rings here that then seal with that, and this can be positioned in any position. So you could play the flute like this, straight out like that. My personal preference is to put it at about 45 degrees. So if this is 0 and that's 90, then 45 is right there. And that allows me to play the flute like this and makes it really easy. This is in the key of bass B. Oh, just goofing off there, but kind of going all around the scale, playing the flute in, just goofing, finding whatever. But gorgeous, gorgeous flute. I mean, it just has this amazing sound. One of the things I love about the side blow is when I play it here, the sound is right close to my ear. I mean, it's just right there. And so I can hear it so well. When I play end blow, and if I play it as an end blow, which this flute could be played as an end blown flute very easily. Right, no problem. But as I play it that way, the sound just envelops me. It's just incredible because it is up close. And then, of course, since it's an easy clean, I simply take off the mouthpiece, set it aside, and then set the flute down after I slide the totem back. And that's going to allow for that to evaporate a little bit while I show you some more flutes. The next flute I want to show you is a half step higher. This is a low C. So the bass B is the highest of what I call bass flutes. This flute is a half step higher, as we say, and it's made out of giant sequoia, which is a super, super lightweight wood. It's a redwood, as well as that was a redwood burl, but from a coastal redwood. Giant sequoia. I really haven't seen very many giant sequoia burls. They may be there, but I just haven't noticed that they're giant sequoia. The coastal redwood is a little more orange than the giant sequoia. The giant sequoia is more pink, and it grows more inland, but it's so light. It's just incredible. For a big bass flute, this is a flute that anybody can play because it's so light. The totem on this flute, originally, this particular person, I did this as a trade with this particular person. He's a good friend of mine, a guy named Duffy Owens up in Seattle, and I'm sure Duffy won't be sad about me using his name. But Duffy has just got, we did some trade for some fun things, including I guess they call it fossilized walrus tusk. It's so beautiful. Oh my gosh, I love it. And I wanted this to be really special for him because originally we had talked about making the bird out of buckeye burl, and that's why it has a buckeye burl mouthpiece on it. And then I got making the flute of the month, which was the phoenix, and it was just so majestic. I loved it so much. I thought, wow, I'd really love to. And I got looking at this is supposed to be a kingfisher, and I got looking at kingfishers on the internet, and I'm like, they're brilliant blue. I mean, brilliant, brilliant blue. And so I thought, that turquoise will look so cool, and then have a beak that's actually they've got a long beak, and it's it's a black beak normally. And so I thought, I'll do a brilliant blue turquoise bird with an African blackwood beak, and I just think it will look so great, and I love it. I do think it looks just wonderful, and it's on a base of buckeye burl. This again is in the key of low C. So. There's just something about the sound of giant sequoia that is really, really captivating. You can hear the spirit of those great big trees singing out in the voice. It's really beautiful. And so for this flute, I actually made a secondary totem, which is just made out of buckeye burl, and it acts as a travel totem, so that Duffy can take this flute without fear to flute circle and travel with it and not have fear of breaking the bird. At any rate, so that was our second flute. The third one is also a flute for Duffy. I've got some awesome gemstones and things like that from Duffy that I'll be using on flutes at some point. And this particular flute is made out of curly koa, and it is awesome. I mean, the curl in this koa is just drop dead gorgeous. It is so beautiful. It has a lynx totem on it made out of Honduran rosewood burl. That's the mouthpiece and end cap trim as well. And then we have the abalone on here. And this is in the key of high G. So this is an octave higher than your mid G. Awesome, just so cool. Now, the flute's so small, my fingers, I have to really almost set my fingers on, sideways in order to get them to seal on the holes. And I could put a sixth hole in, but I make these flutes starting about, I think, a high F sharp or a high F, somewhere in there. I start making the flutes with just a 5-hole flute, and I could put the 6th hole in right here. So if you have any questions, but if I did, you can reach me at 801-822-1415. And the fact is, you actually can play all of the notes on a 6-hole flute on 5-hole flute. It's just not quite as convenient, and it's not quite as intuitive. But if you want to play all the notes on a 6-hole flute, on the 5-hole flute, you can. And that's actually why I played that song. It plays, it uses that, let me grab that bass B and just show you. My wife came in and stole the Phoenix flute, which would have been good to show you this on, but she stole it to show it off to a friend. So, that song goes like this. So I play it like, I can also play it if this, let's pretend this is a 5-hole flute, so I don't have that note. Let's play it again. So I just use down here, instead of opening there, I go like that. And that's how you get to that note. And there's a couple other notes that you need to do some little weird fingering with in order for it to work. But that's how that works. And these little high flutes are amazing to me. I actually make as high as a high C flute now. We'll make it as a necklace flute normally, because it's even shorter than this. Just a fun thing to do. Jeremy Bear has made a lot of necklace flutes like that, and so that's kind of been his thing for a long time. I actually have a high koa, or a high C koa that Jeremy made as a necklace flute. It's very lovely. Okay, so the last flute I want to share with you is a bass A. This is what I would call simple elegance. We have ebony, box elder burl, then African blackwood, with box elder, burl, and ebony. We've got a little bit of shoulder inlay. On the big bass flutes, we almost always have some kind of shoulder inlay, just because the flute is so big, we lose our shoulders as we get bigger and bigger. And so getting into the bass Bs, or the bass As and bass Bs as well, they'll almost always have shoulder inlays. And anything bigger than that will have shoulder inlays. So, then of course it has our buffalo, the white buffalo totem. It has the moisture, the Easy Clean moisture mouthpiece, or the Easy Clean mouthpiece, and I kind of did a taper on this particular one. I really like the way it feels in my mouth. It has a just a really easy feel. So if I play here, or if I'm going to play left hand down, this flute has straight holes. So it could be played ambidextrous. Or I could, which for me is easier to play that way, so I'll play here. I love the sound of the fundamental note on the big bass flutes that are made out of hard woods like the African blackwood. There's just this ring to them that I love. I love that sound. It's just so fun to play the bass flutes. You get just sucked up into playing the instrument. You can lose yourself really easily. If you have a flute in mind that is been a dream flute for you for a long time, give me a call. I'd love to talk with you about it. If you're not sure about exactly what woods and how you want to construct the instrument, I love working with people to help them figure those things out. That's really where I can excel and help you come up with the right mix of woods to meet your dream and to get the sound that you're after, to hit the budget that you're looking to hit, all of the things that you would like to do. We can do that.